Hello everyone, welcome to T2G's webinar with Malaysia Airlines and Penang Global Tourism. I'm Maddie Barber, Special Projects Editor at T2G Media, and I'm joined today by Dan Bainbridge, who is Regional Manager for the UK and Europe for Malaysia Airlines, and also Ui Chok Yan, who is CEO of Penang Global Tourism. So thanks for joining me today, guys. Today, during this webinar, we're going to be giving you updates on capacity and fares from Malaysia Airlines, as well as a bit of information about how to travel to Penang on arrival in Kuala Lumpur. We're going to be focusing on customer reassurance, so how Malaysia Airlines and Penang Global Tourism are helping travellers stay healthy, and how you can keep them reassured that it is safe to travel. We're also going to be shining a light on responsible tourism. I'm talking about building back better and greener, and how Malaysia Airlines and Penang Global Tourism are supporting and promoting this message. A bit later on in the webinar, Ui is going to be giving a 15-minute training presentation on Penang as a holiday destination. So that's going to cover the best experiences for lovers of art and culture, food and lifestyle, nature and adventure, as well as accommodation, cruise, and the marketing collateral available to you as an agent. We're also going to be touching on plans for the future in terms of marketing and development, and also how Malaysia Airlines and Penang Global Tourism are supporting you, travel agents, right now, and how you can get in touch for more information. We've also got a few inspirational videos dotted throughout the webinar that you can use for your own marketing purposes, and I look forward to today. So without further ado, I will kick off with some questioning, talking about selling Penang with Malaysia Airlines. So Dan, I'm going to come to you first. I know that Malaysia Airlines is the only carrier operating non-stop flights from the UK to Kuala Lumpur. What is the current status of the route in terms of frequency and capacity?
Thank you, Maddie. Yes, so Malaysia Airlines is now the only carrier flying directly from the UK to Kuala Lumpur. Pre-pandemic, we were operating two A350 services a day, and we've maintained service throughout the pandemic. We're operating a very bare schedule at present. So as we speak, for the months of April and May, we have a flight every 2 weeks, every other Friday, leaving Heathrow Terminal 2, which is a morning departure and then arrives early morning into Kuala Lumpur. As we move through this year, we're looking to increase that. So our capacity is currently increased for June and then again in July. And by the time we get to the winter schedule, so October this year, we plan to operate a daily service out of Heathrow. Now, some of the schedules are slightly subject to change, and obviously we're awaiting latest announcements and border openings. So at present, obviously Malaysian borders are closed, and many of the markets that we fly to, the borders are closed. But as and when those borders open, we are in a place where we can rapidly amend, increase, or change capacity. So let's be optimistic and hope the borders will open soon, and we're in a place where we can potentially uplift that capacity. And then I think in terms of connections through to Penang, we've got excellent connections through to Penang from our hub in Kuala Lumpur. Obviously the flight arrives early in the morning and meets a connection that will take us straight through to Penang. Okay,
great. And have you had any recent changes in your fares and kind of the price points you offer, and how varied is the range of fares with Malaysia Airlines?
Yeah, it's a good question. So what we've done is we've worked throughout the pandemic to adjust our product offering, and what customers have increasingly asked us for, and agents have asked us for, is flexibility. And in these uncertain times, having flexibility is really key, and particularly if you're not quite sure when borders are going to open or conditions will change in the destination you're travelling to, flexibility is important. So last year we introduced a range of fare families, and we've introduced a product known as the Flex Fare, which is just a modest supplement on top of the regular fare, which gives customers full flexibility, access to additional baggage, and other enhancements. And this is fully accessible by the trade. The trade can sell it as well. It's not a product which is unique to our own direct customers. And the trade can find out more about that on our own website or through OTT or any of the trade resources, or speaking to the Malaysia Airlines team. So we'd be delighted to share with you more details of that.
Okay, great, thanks. And Uri, I'm going to come to you next and ask about travelling from Kuala Lumpur to Penang. So, once customers have got on their flight, the Malaysia Airlines flight, and arrived in Kuala Lumpur, how would they then get to Penang? What's the best method of transport, and how long does the kind of journey or transfer take?
Okay. Thank you, Maddie. I think for the to Penang, I think the best method or the transport is actually via air. The it will be take around like plus minus 1 hours, and then I think we have quite a number of frequency as Dan explained. So it's very convenient, and it's very flexible in terms of timing as well.
Okay, great, thanks.
Okay.
Now, just to bring Penang to life a little bit and highlight why your clients might like to choose this destination for their holidays, we've got a really quick inspirational video to play for you now. Great. So moving on to customer reassurance. Uwe, I'm going to come back to you. What is Penang doing to ensure the island is a safe place to visit? What's the current situation over there, and have any new health and safety measures been put in place in light of the pandemic?
Okay. In terms of actually for Malaysia, we actually working for Penang. We actually working very closely with the Ministry of Health, and then to ensure that then they also come out with quite a series of SOP for various hotels, shopping malls, attraction, etc., etc. So actually, for Penang, we actually have these Penang Kovic accreditations. So basically, this is an initiative by the Penang state. So all the hotels, attractions, and shopping malls that actually comply the SOP by the Ministry of Health, they will get a certificate. So in general, beside that, we also actually produce a series of video to tell the travelers and also the travel agents all the efforts that's actually putting in all the SOP that's complied by the travel agents. By the industry players. So to give everyone a peace of mind when they travel to Penang. And then the latest updates is actually vaccination started. Phase 1 is started last month. And then it's for the frontliners and also for the VIP. And then the second phase will be actually kickstart, I think, mid of next month. So I know if everything go by plan, I think we will see a very positive outcome very, very soon.
Okay, great. And Dan, what is Malaysia Airlines doing to reassure customers that it's safe to travel once they're able to? Can you give us an overview of the health and safety measures that you've put in place?
Yeah, sure. So we know how important it is for customers to feel safe and reassured, and I think we as an airline and the aviation industry in general probably spend a lot of 2020 reassuring customers that it's safe to board aircraft, and the additional cleaning protocols that we've introduced to ensure that customers are as protected as they can be. So obviously on board, we've got the HEPA filters, which filter 99.9% of the air on a very frequent basis, equivalent to a hospital operating theatre. We've modified our protocols on board and at the airport. So we've received the airline rating 7-star rating. So crew wearing PPE, we've modified the food offering, removed, paper menus, paper magazines, additional items on board, all of which to mean a sort of a safer and lower risk journey for customers when they travel with us. And I think generally, there is great degrees of confidence of travelling on aircraft, and that we as an airline and other airlines as well have done very, very well in reassuring customers of the safety on board aircraft.
Okay, great. And I think Malaysia Airlines is also currently trialling the IATA travel pass. Am I right in that? And will you please talk a bit about it? So how it works and what you hope to achieve with it?
Yeah, sure. We're in relatively early stages, but we're in discussions with IATA over the travel pass. This is key to unlocking travel. So having a uniform standard in which customers can travel safely. So we're starting the trial in Malaysia. And obviously through the IATA pass, people will be able to upload details of vaccine or PCR tests so that authorities can see that customers are safe or have taken various procedures or protocols before travelling. And I think as the vaccine gathers pace in the UK and various markets in the world, this will become increasingly important for unlocking travel. So we're very much looking forward to working with IATA on that.
Okay, great. And I want to talk a bit about responsible tourism now. And I know the pandemic has shone a light on sustainable travel, and a lot of travel industry messaging at the moment is talking about building back better and greener. A lot of people are taking this opportunity to reshape travel into a more responsible model. And also travellers do seem more aware of the fact of the impact that their holidays are having on the planet. So I just wanted to ask a bit about, would you say Malaysia Airlines is a good choice of airline for eco-conscious travellers? And what kind of information can you share that would reassure clients that they're making a responsible choice?
Yeah, it's a very good point, Maddie. And I think, as you said, consumers are increasingly looking to purchase from responsible brands, and sustainability is increasingly important. I think it's certainly something that Malaysia Airlines recognises and is taking a number of steps to action. So I think firstly and foremost, we operate one of the most fuel efficient aircraft between London and Kuala Lumpur, the A350, very, very highly fuel efficient, so lower CO2 emissions. So customers can feel reassured that we've got a modern fuel efficient fleet, which reduces CO2 emissions. We are, as part of One World Airlines, committed to going carbon neutral by 2050 as part of the One World Pledge, and be striving to do that. And that's quite a significant action for an airline, and we're working through that at present. But I think, more importantly, on a local level, a number of different initiatives that we're looking at, obviously reducing single-use plastic, removing single-use items on board. And airlines can do much more in terms of digitalization. So we're looking now at, uploading our magazines digitally into content, so passengers can upload digital content onto their cell phones or devices, and contactless on board. So expect to see more from us in this space. We've got some more announcements probably coming in the next month or so on our sustainability initiatives, but we certainly recognise how important it is, and we want customers and the travel trade to be reassured that purchasing tickets through Malaysia Airlines is a sustainable and responsible option.
Okay, great, thanks. And Uwe, what about sustainability in destination in Penang? Is that something you focus on at the Tourist Board? Have you got any kind of eco-tourism activities or eco-friendly accommodation options that are available for agents and their eco-conscious customers to choose from?
Yes, because for us, this is one of the areas that we're focusing as well. For example, we are talking about the ecotourism, so we have some attractions that's available, like the Habitat, Antopia, and then for accommodations like glamping, for example, or like a hillside retreat. And then beside that, in the Georgetown area, we also focusing on our intangible heritage. So we actually having workshop to promote, to share with people, to translate the knowledge and the craft. And beside that, it's also an area that we are focusing on promoting, and then it's like, we try to see how to help the local trade, help the local community. And there's also few ways. One of the ways actually through events. We have these Heritage Day celebrations that in the Georgetown area, where the locals will actually welcomes tourists and share their knowledge about their craft, their skill, or even their stories. And then we also have this another state agencies called Georgetown Heritage Incorporation, which is that they safeguard for the heritage, intangible heritage, and education as well. And then if you want to go to reduce the carbon, we actually carbon footprint, in Georgetown area, we actually encourage people to take walking tour or cycling tour. So and that will give you a very pleasant experience, in the summer weather. And as for accommodation, we have few hotels actually certified as green hotel, for example, Rasa Sayang. And then some hotels actually they are using green buildings, because they are using more recycled material, and then more sustainable material as well, and then are more environment friendly. And then I think most of the hotel in Penang now for the drinking water is actually using a glass bottle. So in a way it kind of reduce the wastage of plastic bottles as well. So this is just some of the examples of what Penang industry players and the state governments is doing for sustainable. Thank you.
Okay, great. So you mentioned some great activities there available to visitors. And talking of kind of activities and attractions, we now have a short video to play from Malaysia Airlines, which is going to showcase some of the destination's most colourful and best sites. Dan, I noticed the video began with a Travel Malaysia Tomorrow slogan. Is this a campaign that you've recently launched? And if so, what's the kind of thinking behind it?
Thank you. Yeah, mate, listen, it's not a specific campaign as such, but I think we are so integral as an airline into the promotion of Malaysia and the destinations that we serve. It's really, really key that we remind people and highlight just what Malaysia has to offer. And I think, at the moment when people are stuck at home, haven't been able to travel for a long period of time, we're very, very proud of the various attractions and natural wonders that Malaysia has to offer. Some of the fantastic beaches, lovely islands, Penang obviously, nature, wildlife, cuisine, infamous street food, very, very friendly people. It's a really, really fantastic destination to visit, and hopefully that video just gives a little bit of a taster for some of the things that you can see and do in Malaysia.
Yeah, absolutely. And is Penang Global Tourism making any moves to help inspire travel to Malaysia again in the coming months?
Yes, actually for us, there's actually two prongs that we're doing, B2B and B2C. For the business or the trade industry players, there's few things that we're doing. One of them is obviously webinars, and also some sharing session. We're also taking in some of the virtual trade shows, and we're also working some partnership with our partners, our industry partners. For example, one of them is actually Malaysia Airlines. And then as for consumer, there's few things that we're doing, just constantly remind people about Penang and keep updating about Penang through social medias. It's very common and a useful tool nowadays. And also some of them through the on-ground activities as well. So this is a few ways approach that we are keep reminding people about Penang and try to keep Penang in their top of mind. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. And to help you agents sell holidays to Penang, Uri has put together a short training presentation to share today. So Uri, would you like to go ahead and share your screen and give agents a taster of what Malaysia has to offer their clients?
Sure. Okay, this is quite a quick presentation about Penang. So basically, we'll share about how we categorize our products basically in 3 pillars, and also what is the latest updates on Penang and also our collateral. So welcome to Penang. And why Penang? I think Penang actually, you know, if you compare Penang 20 years ago or 30 years ago and now, it's actually quite a big change. One of the things is because actually on 2008, we actually inscribed the World UNESCO status for Heritage City for Georgetown, which is the capital of Penang. So, and then we also received quite a number of accolades from most of the international media such as CNN, Codenas, Los Angeles Times, Forbes, Yahoo, The Guardian's, Lonely Planet, International Living, etc. Just to name few, for example, CNN actually voted Asam Laksa as the number 7 most delicious food in the world. And then our street art actually is the only street art in Asia actually listed in the book of street art for Lonely Planet. And then we actually categorize our products into 3 pillars. Although Penang is considered a small state, but we have quite a diverse products that's available for people. Art and culture mainly is focused in Georgetown area. Food and lifestyle, food based because Penang is a capital for street food, and nature and adventure because we're an island. So for art and life culture, mainly is because of Georgetown, which is the UNESCO World Heritage Site. As you can see, the green area is actually the core zone. The red area is the buffer zone. And this is a view of Georgetown area. And at the bottom is a collage of a series of the architecture buildings that you can find in Penang. As you can see from one another, they are actually influenced from different culture and different era. And then one of the key things about our heritage is actually our traditional trade, our intangible culture. So as you can see, all these traditional craft, trade, they have been here for generations from starting from the grandparents. So there's a lot of stories to tell. And then when you visit them, so they are more and willing to share their stories with you. And beside our traditional trade, another very unique is our Peranakan culture. Peranakan culture is actually started when the Chinese actually from China, they actually migrate to Malaysia, and then they have a cross marriage with the local. So this is a very unique culture that you can only find in the Straits of Malacca, basically Penang, Malacca, and Singapore. But they're slightly different from one another because of the influence of the local elements as well. So this is the dressing of the Peranakan culture, and also their lifestyle, their cuisine is very unique. And beside this, another unique things about Penang is actually we have a street, we call it the Streets of Harmony. Basically, in the same streets, you start with the church, and then next to it is actually a Chinese temple, and then next to it is an Indian temple, and then at the end is a mosque. So what we try to tell people is like a few hundred years ago, people with different beliefs and actually live harmoniously on the same street. This is something that we want to demonstrate and tell people. And then a few years ago, actually, Prince Charles and actually Camilla, the Duchess of Cornwall, is actually visited these places. And then another thing is that how to visit Georgetown area. I think very nice if you take a walking tour, or you can take a trishaw ride. A trishaw is actually 100% handmade, or a cultural tour as well. So this is some areas, ways that you can actually experience the Georgetown area. And as I mentioned briefly just now, we have this Heritage Day celebration on the 7th of July to celebrate the inscription of Georgetown Heritage Day, a UNESCO status. So during that day, all the residents will actually open their doors. They welcome tourists, visitors. They will share their culture. So it's a very good ways of engaging and experience for tourists. And our second pillar is actually our food and culture. So Penang is famous for street food. The top right photo is Asam Laksa, which is voted number 7 most delicious food by CNN. And on the left, this colorful is actually one of the dessert of the peranakan. And then in Penang, for the street food, you on the top you can see you still can find very original, authentic hawker street food. And at the bottom, we also can go to some restaurant, enjoy our local street food with a bit of the chic and then with a bit of the modern twist. And then another way to actually know Penang is actually through the cooking classes, because from the ingredients, you can understand the background of Penang, why certain spices is added in, why certain herbs is added in, because the herbs and the spices are coming from different countries, but actually Penang is a meeting point as a port. And then another way to know Penang is actually go to our local market. There's where you can feel on the ingredients, and then also you can hear people talking in different languages. So it's something that is quite unique in Penang. And then our third pillar is actually nature and adventure. So Penang is very interesting is because if you're staying at the beach hotel, you can see a sunrise. Within 2 to 3 hours, you can reach the top of the hill and see a full view of Penang. So from a beach to a hill, it just take you 2 hours. And then this is some of the places. One of them is actually our national park, which is one of the smallest, Penang Hill. And then also Tropical Spice Garden and Botanical Garden. So this is some of the view. And this is our national park. We have the only mineral-mythic lake in Malaysia. And it's one of the smallest national park, but we have 150 different bird species. And then if you can see a sea turtle and mangrove as well. And this is Penang Hill. This is the tallest point of Penang. So this is a treetop walk, which basically you can have a 360 view of Penang. So at one side, you will see a Penang Island. On the other side, you can have a full view of the Andaman Sea. And you're surrounding yourself with a 130 million year old rainforest, which is much older than the Amazon forest. And then Penang Hill is actually nominated the Biosphere Reserve under the UNESCO Man and the Biosphere Program. So beside Penang Hill, we also have for families, they can actually go to a theme park which is called Escape. But the theme park is slightly different. We actually encourage people back to basic, back to nature, put your gadget away. So, so it's slightly different with other franchise theme park that's available. And then for the theme park, one of the key selling points is actually we have the world's longest water slide. It's Guinness Book record with the 1.111 km. Okay, it's a 4 minutes ride. And then as this is a drone view, as you can see, it's actually going through trees. So you can have a very nice view and a very unique experience. And next to the Escape theme park is actually there's Entopia. Basically, you can see it's a butterfly sanctuary park. So you can see butterfly literally to landing on your fingers. So it's a nature classroom. If you bring your kids there, they will have a lot of fun. They have a lot of great time there. And then for someone who like outdoor activities, you can try our cycling tours or our hiking tours, on a tropical weather and a tropical environment. And talking about accommodation, where to stay in Penang, basically there's few places. If you like beach, you can go to Batu Ferringhi. You can stay at the Batu Ferringhi area, where all the 3 to 5 star hotel located. Which have Rasa Sayang, Park Royal, Hard Rock, etc. Or you want to stay at the Georgetown area also, where we have most of the boutique hotels available there. If you want to stay somewhere in between, then you can choose Gurney Drive. Is actually next to a shopping mall. This is just to show everyone, just give everyone some of the boutique hotels that's available in Penang. As you can see, the architecture is quite different from one another. And then this goes with the interior as well. Some of the furniture is actually restored from the original owners, or from the mansion, and then they have stories to tell you, because these some of the mansions belongs to some of the tycoons. So yeah, and you can't find it elsewhere. It's very unique. There's only one of its kind. So yeah, every boutique hotel there's a story behind, and it's very Instagrammable. And this is some of the hotels that's available at Batu Ferringhi or the international brands. And you want something wake up surrounding by flora, greens, you can try the Boulder Valley, the glamping. Or you prefer on the hill, Penang Hill, we have a hillside retreat that you can surround yourself with 130 million year old rainforest, wake up with fresh air. And lastly, is our collaterals that's available. You can visit our website. It's in multiple languages. Most of the information is available there. These are brochures. We also have e-versions. You can go to our website at the bottom, download brochures, and there's a list of brochures that you can download in the PDF format. Or that's all from me. If you need any videos, you can go to our YouTube channel as well, or you can contact us personally. Thank you.
Great, thanks very much, Uri. That's packed full of information. It looks absolutely beautiful. That giant slide, I feel like every kid would be going up and down that over and over. Now, I know you mentioned there that you've got your pillars that you're promoting, but are there any really specific niche sectors or elements that Penang Global Tourism is marketing to the trade this year and next?
If you're talking about niche market, beside the leisure, Penang is also the #1 destination for medical tourism for Malaysia. And then beside that, we are also a very popular cruise destination as well. Because the thing is that our port is actually located at the heritage zone. So for the cruise line, is very they only have few hours, so they want to maximize their time. So when you're stepping out, you're actually at the heritage zone, and then the port is actually can cater for the cruise ship up to quantum size. So we actually welcome the cruise ship from around the world, from Royal Caribbean to Costa, Norwegian, etc. And then Penang is also a destination for business event MICE. So we have the world first hybrid exhibition convention hall, which is a solar panel generated. So it's a green building. So for companies who want to have events in the green buildings, I think our convention hall is one of their what they can consider as well. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, great. And what are your hopes and plans for tourism in Penang going forwards? Do you have any aspirations?
I hope. We hope with the vaccination and things like that, things will. The border will open soon, and then as we understand from Tourism Malaysia as well, there's some discussion on the vaccination passport and also the travel bubble. So that's a very positive and progress. So we hope soon we have a quick outcome very, very soon. Yeah.
Okay, great. And Dan, coming back to you, what is Malaysia Airlines' view or outlook for the future of travel to Malaysia? Are there any trends that you're seeing in terms of inquiries or anything that you're expecting to see in the coming months?
Yes, I think we remain optimistic, cautiously optimistic for the future, Maddie. Borders are closed at the moment, so our focus has been very much on educating customers and the trade on the wonderful elements that are in Malaysia to visit, which is part of the reason for doing today. But I think if we look at demographics and we look at what we're hearing from customer insight, there is a large proportion of the population who have been able to save money throughout this pandemic, particularly baby boomer generation, retirees. So people are looking for a bigger splurge. So we are seeing evidence of people looking for longer trips, looking to upgrade their cabin. And I think, in terms of the destinations and markets that we serve, and Malaysia, for example, that lends itself very, very well for more of a splurge trip, more of a special trip, people looking to go for a little bit longer. So, and I think, as we get to a point where the majority of the UK is vaccinated, and, certainly some of the key market segments. So, for example, the slightly more luxury leisure traveller who may be in the over 50 category, for example, we're seeing growth in that and more interested in that sector. So I think we've definitely got reasons to be optimistic. We're very, very keen for those borders to open and get clarity on that, as I'm sure everybody is. And once those borders are open, we're very, very confident there is pent-up demand. And I think for the agents out there who are speaking to customers, be optimistic, be reassured. We are hearing that there is definitely demand. People are looking to travel, looking to get something booked in, and the majority of UK customers will have had multiple or both doses of the vaccine relatively shortly, and be able to plan and book with confidence.
Great. And how is Malaysia Airlines supporting travel agents right now? I mean, I know we're offering training via this webinar, but are you offering any other training opportunities, online events, competitions, incentives? I mean, are you planning any fam trips? I mean, kind of what's going on in the kind of trade space for Malaysia Airlines?
I think we've tried to be as proactive as we can throughout this pandemic and be as present and visible as we can. So we've had members of the Malaysia Airlines team working. We've been utilising furlough, but we have people working throughout the pandemic. The team have been doing various trade activities, webinars, virtual training, individual agent visits virtually throughout. And we've been doing various different training events where we can. I'd love us to be able to get back to doing fam trips. I don't think that will happen this year, sadly. But the trade is really, really important to Malaysia Airlines. The product that we sell lends itself very well to be sold through the trade. It's often complicated, often tailor-made, often combined with other destinations or other products. So it lends itself well to be sold through the trade. And we recognise that and support the trade as best we can. We've got content through OTT, the training resources. But please reach out through the resources that are available. Reach out to the team of Malaysia Airlines in the UK, and we will try and support you and educate you and help you sell as effectively as we can.
Okay, great. And what is the best way for them to reach out and get in touch? Is it email, phone?
You can contact the sales team by email or phone. Obviously, we've got plenty of web resources where agents can check details, etc., on our own website and through that of OTT. But we'd love to hear from people. Great.
And Uwe, how is Penang Global Tourism currently working with and supporting travel agents? Are you running any additional training opportunities, online events, competitions, incentives? I think fam trips might be a way off, but have you got any in the planning stages or know when they might be returning? Yeah, so how are you supporting agents right now?
Actually, we've been working very closely with all our partners, which include the travel agents. There's a few programs like what we've been doing, like the webinars, trainings, and then attending the virtual shows and things like that. And we also producing quite a number of materials, promotional materials like videos, updating our brochures and leaflets for our travel agents as well. Of course, we also welcome proposal that see any new collaborations that's possible that now we'll explore. And then, of course, fam trip, we will hope to see that happen very, very soon. We are hoping to see everyone in Penang in a very soon time. And I think we are very proactive. We are very open for suggestion. We are very open for collaborations. Yeah.
Okay, great. And what is the best way for agents to get in touch with you for this marketing collateral or any inquiries? Is it best to go via your website or email? How would they get in touch?
Okay, you can go to our website or email us, or go via social media as well. Can reach us. So yeah, I think that's the most common platform that you can reach us, and then we'll get back to you very, very soon.
Great, thank you very much. I think that's all we've got time for today, so we'll wrap up. And thank you, Dan and Uwe, for joining me today and sharing all this useful information. And yes, we will of course all have our fingers crossed for restart travel very, very soon. Thank you everyone for watching. If you are keen on seeing more training content from T2G and our partners, you can check out t2gmedia.com. And thanks again very much, and take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you.